Yes, day one in the books. And the 49ers might have just found defensive help. And it wasn't from the names we all expected. Now, tonight we're breaking down the biggest risers and fallers from defensive line and linebacker day at the NFL Combine. And trust me, some draft boards completely changed today. And one of these linebackers feels very 49ers. Let's talk about it. What's good, everybody? Breezy Bunch crew, I know you in the building. This your boy Wayne Breezie, and this is the Wayne Breezie Show. Your home for 49ers news, draft analysis, and real football talk. Baby, hit that like button, subscribe, make sure your notifications are on, and drop some fire in the chat. Let's get this popping, man. Draft season is officially here, and I can't wait to break some of these players down. Now, let's talk about why this combine matters for the 49ers. Why does this combine in particular matters for the San Francisco 49ers? It matters to them differently, all right? Now, defensively, we're used to seeing this wide nine scheme. I don't think the scheme is going to go away. We're just going to change the front look, right? 5-man fronts, 3-man fronts. It's just going to look a little different. So the wide nine scheme I still think is going to be utilized. But here in this draft, there are several players that they probably can get out of the draft. And that's what we're going to be here talking about on today, all right? Athletic thresholds matter. Athleticism is key. How athletic these players play and how long they can play and be sustainable out there on the football field is key. It truly is. And traits are greater than college production. Listen, what those kids do in college, they leave it in college. None of it matters once they get to the NFL. I remember having a conversation about that. None of it matters when they get into the NFL. What they did in college stays in college. What they do in the NFL is what's going to matter the most for these kids. Truly is. The stopwatch doesn't lie, baby. And the 49ers listen to it. The stopwatch doesn't lie. And the 49ers listen to it. Let's get to these defensive tackle risers. First riser of the day. Zane Durant, defensive tackle out of Penn State. Let's talk about what he's really good at. I've been talking about his quick step, the burst off the line of scrimmage. You saw the drills. Once that ball is hiked, if you watch that the hoop drill, once that ball is hiked, boom, takes off. First step, burst off of snap, super important, especially for Chris Kocurek. What is one of Chris Kocurek's key traits? Quick get off, burst off of the snap. Then he has his penetration ability, the way he's able to penetrate the offensive line, break through, and get through to get pressure on the quarterback. I feel like that's what helps make Zane Durant productive, and he did it well at Penn State. So this guy, in my opinion, his ability to be disruptive from the interior, his ability to penetrate, his ability to have that quick get off and have that first explosive step with a high motor, this kid is going to continue to rise up. And from the combine, you saw how quick he moved, how smooth he moved in the different drills, the agility drill. Those drills, he was doing his thing. I will give it to him. Zane Durant is my first riser. Now, this is the type of interior quickness that keeps quarterbacks from stepping up against Nick Bosa. If this dude is coming off the line, off the snap of the ball extra quick, and he already has an angle to get into the backfield to generate the pressure, the quarterback's not going to step to the side because guess who's coming? Guess who's going to be on his side waiting? The small beer. And then on the other side, Mr. Williams. And then in the middle, you have a quick guy off the snap ready to chew you up. And that, to me, is what makes this kid stand out. From this combine, he was hella athletic. And just thinking about what he did, I got to look up my numbers. So if you see me looking down on my computer, I'm looking up numbers. But let's go to what he did as far as how he stood out. Zane Durant, he ran a 4.76. He had the fastest 40-yard dash time amongst the defensive tackles. Am I looking at the right person? No, I take that back. I'm sorry. Oh, no, I made a boo-boo. My apologies. That's Dennis-Sutton. Got my stuff mixed up. 30.5-inch vert, 9 feet, 4 inches broad jump. No, I was reading it right. I could read my handwriting. Let me take off these damn glasses so I can see. Hold on. This is what happens when you don't have your regular equipment. No, I was right. 4.76. He ran a 1.63 split, 33.5-inch vert, and a 9 foot, 4-inch broad jump. Explosiveness. That's what you get. He could jump decently high, pretty average for a jumper. And then this dude was explosive. Hella explosive. I loved what I saw from Zane Durant. I definitely think he's going to be a riser. Now, here's the question. Do the 49ers need more interior pressure? Yes or no? Put it in the daggone comment section. Yes or no? Do they need more interior pressure? Last year, they addressed the interior, I would say, with 2.5 men because Mykel Williams is an edge rusher, edge setter, defensive end. Let's just say he's a defensive end, but you know what he can do? He can line up inside. So number 1, Zane Durant as my first riser. Number 2, let's get to it, baby. Number 2, Gracen Halton. Now, I don't know. Zane Durant's on my sleeper list for defensive tackles, but Gracen Halton was in my top 10, and I feel like Gracen Halton is bumping himself up. He helped himself today big time. His movement fluidity, magnifique. His change of direction was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I'm like, yo, this big dude's moving. And I didn't even get to what he did as far as athleticism. But in the drills, you saw how smooth he moved, his footwork. Then his pass rush upside. This dude can get to the quarterback. Good pressure rate. Talked about him as one of my top 10. You could see scheme, versatility written all over him. And with a new defensive coordinator and Raheem Morris, he just seems like a Raheem Morris pick. He does. What did Gracen Halton do at the combine? I got him at 6 feet, 2.5 inches, 293 pounds. Little light work up front, not 300-pound guy, but you know what? That's probably what helps his athleticism. 10-inch hands, 31.25-inch arms, 77.75-inch freaking, you know what I need to do? I just need to highlight the line. 77.75-inch wingspan. He ran a 4.83. These might not be official times, so I do apologize. With a 1.7 split, try to get all the official times in here. 36.5-inch vert. This dude had a 36.5-inch vert with a 9'6" freaking broad jump, and his shuttle time was a 4.79. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know if you can hear the bell ring, but I definitely like what I saw from Gracen Halton, and when you break down film on him, you'll love him even more. Again, you could see scheme, versatility written all over him, baby. Scheme, versatility written all over him. It's a beautiful thing. Number 3, my third defensive tackle riser. All right? Then I got one faller. Third defensive tackle riser. Small school, Southeastern Louisiana, Kaleb Proctor. I mentioned him, I think, on a draft show. I said, watch out for this kid. He went to a small school. But, man, here's what I like about him. His frame, his power potential. That means he's going to get stronger. He has the potential to pack in more power. And his developmental ceiling. He ain't nowhere near close to being at his ceiling. But his floor is damn good, faithful. Damn good. He's already starting to good. Now, small school, the numbers going to be skewed, but he dominated. And you got to give it to him for dominating amongst the competition that he had to play against. But as far as what I saw out here today, I liked a lot. I liked a lot. Hella athletic, half athleticism from this kid, Kaleb Proctor. As I pull up his stuff, let's see, ran a 4.8, 169 split, 33-inch vert, 9 foot, 5-inch. Excuse me, yeah, 9 foot 5-inch broad jump and a 4.71 shuttle. 4.71 shuttle. Didn't lead in any of those statistical categories, but it was right there against the men, right there against the men. And you know what you're gonna see more of from him when we start breaking down film and things like that on this young gentleman out of southeastern Louisiana is you're gonna see his potential and the ceiling. Maybe not a first round, maybe not a day one or a day two guy. Could be a day two guy. Could go round 3. I think the way he was looked in the drills was super smooth and super on point. So I think that's what's going to help him a lot, in the draft. And that's why he was one of my risers today. 49ers, and here's what the 49ers coaching love, right? They love moldable prospects. If you get him in round 4, round 5, we only got, or we trade down and he's still there and you get a guy like this that's moldable, he could be the winner of a draft, man. This guy can get to the quarterback. It's like his pressure rate is in the 20s. He can get to the quarterback. He creates pressure. He had double-digit sacks. And I understand, again, it was South Louisiana, blah, 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 whatever. But I think his stock rose. Now, let's get to the faller. And I'm gonna say he was a faller because of athleticism. He's not athletic. He's just a strong, mean motherfucker that's ready to go out there and eats double teams. So Lee Hunter would be the faller if you were watching this based off of athleticism, as far as how well he ran, what was his 10-yard split. If you're going off of that stuff, yeah, his RAS score not going to look good. His relative athletic score is not going to be good. But that doesn't translate to what this guy does or what he's going to do on a Sunday. But he did fall. He might not. I have him as a first-round grade, with a first-round grade as a first-round pick. He might have fell to the second round. So didn't fall too much, because you're going to go off of production. Now, here's what he did do. He tested well, probably. He tested really well in the interviews, and you saw the drills. He looked like he dominated in the drills. That right there tells me that he's going to dominate on Sundays. And I saw him at the Senior Bowl. I mean, yeah, so I'm good, on what I see from Lee Hunter. I think Lee Hunter is going to be a dog in the NFL, and the Niners would be lucky to have a guy like that. But I think because he didn't test well, with the jumps and all that kind of crazy stuff, it hurt him a little bit. And it might have hurt him knocking him out of the first round. And trust me, this guy wants first round money, and I get it. But let's look up Hunter's intangibles. Lee Hunter, 6 feet, 3 inches, 318 pounds, 9.25 inch hands, 33.25 inch arms, he has an 80.75 inch wingspan. Yes, he ran a 5.18 with a 1.79 10-yard split. I'm not looking for him to chase motherfuckers down. I'm looking for him to eat double teams and eat them motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. Eat up the doubles. Let my linebackers come down, play downhill, fill in the gap. That's what I'm getting from him. Now, he only had a 21.5 inch vertical, and I don't have a broad jump on him as right now, and I'm not sure if he did it, but yeah, he's not jumping through the roof. This is a big 320-pound guy that's looking to get to the quarterback, and that's one of the things I like about him because that's what he said. He's learning how to be more of a pass rushing DT opposed to just a run stuffing DT. But yo, that's what you got. Lee Hunter would be my defensive tackle faller. Let's get to the edge risers, and this is where I felt like the energy shift and raised excitement because I saw there was going to be speed. The drills were the same drills, but the drills were ran a little bit more smooth. You saw a better change of direction for some of these guys. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. All right? Just the way it is. Number 1, David Bailey. And I know he felt like he didn't run as fast as he wanted to run. He ran a 4.5 official score with a 1.62 split. I know he didn't run as fast as he wanted to run, if for those that love the 40-yard dash. But let's talk about what he did in those drills because that to me is where he looked fluid, like he was out there playing football. Now, David Bailey is a sack monster. This guy is going to get you sacks, right? Here's what he has. He does possess. And you saw this in the drill. First step explosion. That right there. Ooh, I like that explosion. First step explosion from David Bailey's, which you're going to get every single Sunday. And then he had the bend. You got to see him get down, pick it up. You got to watch that hoop drill, man. I like that hoop drill. Is crazy. It shows the guys bends and all that good stuff. And he has really good closing speed. I mean, he ran up 4.5 and 4.5 flat for defensive end. Shit, give it to me, baby. Like that's what I'm talking about. Now, he might be the best defensive end in the draft. The production says he's the best defensive end in the draft. That's what the production says. It's what he did in college. He produced. We need producers. The Niners need producers. David Bailey is a producer. And guess what? Because of that speed in this wide 9 defense, he fits. He has that get off on the outside in the wide 9. And if he's going to be a stand-up defensive end, opposed to putting a hand in the dirt, outside linebacker type of defensive end, give it to me, man. Give it to me. 6'3", 251, 10 1/4 inch hands, 33 3/4 inch arms, 79 3/4 inch wingspan. David Bailey. That's my first riser. Number 2, Malachi Lawrence, University, Central Florida. Yo, shout out to those that are on that put the Malachi Lawrence stuff out there. You know who you are. This kid is hella explosive. This kid is going to be a phenomenal pro. You can see it all over him. Malachi Lawrence, just, he ran a 4.52. Whew, he was moving. Not too slower, much slower than my man David Bailey with a 1.59 split. Golly. He almost had the second highest 10-yard split. Let that sink in. Second highest 10-yard split, and probably had the third highest 40 time out of the edge rushers because Avril Reese was definitely the number 1 edge rusher. I don't have Avril Reese as a riser because he's probably going to be the number 1 edge rusher taken off out of the draft. Anyway, his hand usage, his technique, and his ability to control rush lanes is what separates him. So when you watch film, you see the dangerous hands. When you watch film, you see his technique, his ability to set the edge, his ability to get to the passer. You can see this technique and the way he controls these rush lanes, the way he sets the edge, the way he directs where the running back is going to go. That's what makes him stand out, man. And this felt like a pro-ready edge defender, man. Looking at Malachi Lawrence, I'm just like, yo, he ready. He ready for the big leagues. Number 3. My third riser, Dani Dennis-Sutton. I think that's how you say his name. Dani Dennis-Sutton. And I think he was the guy. Another Penn State guy. Them Penn State dudes was balling out. We talked about Zane Durant a little while ago. But yeah, Dani Dennis-Sutton, man. God dang. Let me get his stuff up, man. God dang. Highest, I think he got the fastest 40 official. I think it was a 4.76 for him. Whew. Wow. He had a pretty fast 40. Let me just put that out there. Nah, I think, yeah, because Avril Reese, Malachi Lawrence has some fast 40s too. So let me just get this off of here. Forgot he was an edge. But man, golly, he can move, man. I thought Dennis-Sutton ran a 4.63 in the 40 with a 1.64 split. Here's where he stood out though. That his vert was a 39.5 inches, and that broad jump was 10 feet 11 inches. So he had the furthest broad jump out there. Now I get the funny thing about him is sometimes he plays too stiff, but I thought today he showed how athletic he could be, and I think now you know that the bend is there. That you can teach it. It can be worked in part of his game, in the pros. So we'll see what happens. But listen, his size and movement combo is deadly. Because of his size and the way he's able to move, it's deadly. He has that perfect power speed blend. And this is a guy I was looking at last year when everybody was looking at Abdul Carter. I thought he was going to come out, but he declared to go back to Penn State. I thought he should have came out last year. I'm hoping staying one more season didn't hurt his chances to be in the top first round pick, but he's definitely a first round day two guy, second round, third round, or whatever like that. He's top 100 for me. But Dennis-Sutton is what the Niners could use out there. I mean, this is exactly the athletic profile the 49ers gamble on. Like it's his size, it's his speed, it's his power, and it's its ability to set the edge and get to the quarterback. That's what you're gonna get, All right, chat. Speed rusher or power rusher? Which do you want opposite Nick Bosa? You want speed? You want power? Make sure you leave a comment. All right. Let's get to the faller of the edge, Reuben Bain Jr. I am not even going to leave it out there, man. He didn't have a bad day because he didn't do anything, but he did get his measurables, right? And so, he's 6'2", 263, 9.1/8 hands. He has 30 and 7/8 inch arms. He doesn't even have 31-inch arms. And so the short arms, I think, is going to drop him down a tick or two. It's going to make teams be like, I'm good. And there's other edge rushers with freakish arms that can win and they could do some things. So I hope it doesn't hurt him too bad. But he didn't test. He said he's going to do his pro day, and that's where he's going to go out. Now, he's a football guy. Don't get it twisted. He's a football guy. But I think the reason why I have him falling, I felt like he needed the test. I think that would have helped just to watch the drills, just to watch his get off, just to watch those different types of little nuances, especially with the smarts. Now, look, he's hella productive. I mean, he's not the sack king, but he's a force out there on the football field. You could tell he's a football guy. You know what I'm saying? You definitely could tell he's a football guy. But, he didn't test. And I think that right there hurt him. So we're going to be locked into his pro day, which is coming up shortly, believe it or not. We're going to be locked into his pro day. So testing concerns, explosiveness questions, these are the things you're going to think about Reuben. Now, if Reuben Bain is at freaking 27, the Niners better just draft him. Like, I don't know. I don't care about the small arms. Is he going to miss some tackles? For sure. I'm used to that. But this dude is hella dominant on the football field. You know what I'm saying? So I guess when athletic testing doesn't pop, teams start asking those harder questions. And I think that's what's kind of like hindering him. Just keeping it a buck. Let's get to the linebacker risers. I could do this all night. This is where I feel like the 49ers radar should be locked in because they need another Fred Warner. And not to replace Fred Warner, but that's the type. Find that hybrid safety that converts to a linebacker. That's the type. That's the type in the NFL. I felt like the Niners were trendsetters in starting that type. Going away from that traditional linebacker. Yeah. All right. Now, Sonny Styles is best linebacker in this draft. Hands down. And I don't know if he was a top 5 pick. I like it's so weird. I don't even think he was a top 10 pick. Maybe a top 12. I think teams are gonna start thinking a little bit different about Sonny Styles, man. 6'5". He's 6'5". He's 6'5", 244 pounds with 10-inch hands and an 80 and 7th inch wingspan. He almost has 33-inch arms, 32 and 7/8. He ran a 4.46, the fastest out of the edge rushers. 4.46 with a 1.56 10-yard split, the fastest out of edge rushers. He jumped a 43.5-inch vertical, the highest out of edge rushers, with an 11 feet 2-inch broad jump, the furthest. Get my drift? And these are linebackers. And so, not edge rushers, these are linebackers. My apology. And so out of the linebackers, I'm like, yo, this dude is the guy, right? This dude is going to be he should be the number 1 linebacker drafted. Now, I know you have some other guys that might have gone there. You get the C.J. Allens and maybe the Josiah Trotters and some of those dudes or whatever like that. But I tell you what, this dude, Mr. Styles, linebacker, made a case for himself. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He had a 7.093 cone. Not the greatest, but not poor. At a 4.26 shuttle. But his speed lets me know that his range, he can cover. So, just imagine having Fred and Sonny on the same team. They'll be like interchangeable. And he's faster than Fred Warner, so that'd be crazy. His ability to cover is great. And he's hybrid. He's a hybrid, versatile player. Like, it's what you need. You could tell. 6'5"? He's 6'5" and was moving. He was 6'5" and ran a 4.46. Lets me know if he was 6'2", 6'3", he would have ran a 4.4. Just off of height. This kid was moving, Mr. Styles. You know. So in today's NFL, linebackers must run like safeties. It's just the way it is. Styles showed that. Now the question is Styles going to be like an Isaiah Simmons, or is it going to be like a Fred Warner? Like that's kind of like what it's going to come down to. So Isaiah Simmons was a freakish kind of linebacker and safety, universe purpose type of guy, multi-purpose type of a player as well with versatility. But I just don't think he was utilized right. I truly don't. Linebacker speed is survival in today's NFL. Speaking of speed, now I didn't expect this player. This is one of my risers, Mr. Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker out of Texas Tech. I didn't expect him to move fast. I did not expect him to move well. But I think he just moved up into the top 50 prospects. I think he rose to one of the top 50 prospects, hands down, without a doubt. Without a mother freaking doubt. He just rose up. Just watching him on film, instincts is everything. This dude had over 10 forced fumbles. The processing speed is there. High football IQ. And the way he pursues the angles and the way he ran lets me know that he knows and understands the angles of football, which is going to make him a tick faster. Yeah. Mr. Rodriguez. 4.57 was his official 40. 1.6 split. 38.5-inch vert with a 10-foot 1-inch broad jump. And here's where he dominated. This is what makes him a 49er. He had the highest 3-cone of the linebackers at a 6.9. A linebacker, change of direction, 3-cone, agility type of a drill. This man got a 6.9 as a linebacker with a 4.19 shuttle. This kid is going to be a phenomenal pro. And I think the Niners need to address the linebacking position. I think it's Fred Warner, and then it's a bunch of players that's still trying to figure it out. I don't think you're going to have that problem. You draft a guy like Jacob Rodriguez, so we'll see what happens. And here's what you can't teach. You can teach a lot of things. You can't teach instincts. Can't teach instincts. And the one thing Jacob Rodriguez has are instincts. A kid knows and understands football. He knows it and understands it. That's a scary thing. Number 3, my third riser, Kyle Lewis out of Pittsburgh, because this is that safety convert to linebacker. Once I saw what he was able to do at the Senior Bowl, it was a wrap. I was like, I can't wait to see him run. I know he's going to move. And I thought he moved. I thought he was moving. I thought Kyle Lewis was out there moving. We're in a 4.53. Hell yeah, he was moving. Almost in the in the 4.4s. 4.53, 1.58 split. Tie for the second highest 10-yard split. Yeah. 39.5-inch vert from this young gentleman. 10 feet 9-inch broad jump. Guess what? Second highest 3-cone out of the linebackers. He had a 6.97. His ability to change direction, his ability to cover is going to be amazing. Now, this reminds me of Drake. I'm not comparing him to Drake Greenlaw, but his ability to move sideline to sideline. The effort is there. That's what you need. And right away, he'll bring special teams. He'll add special teams value. And I feel like there's a coaching upside here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like he was a day 3 guy, maybe a 4th rounder. But now I think he's moving up to day 2. I'm going to keep it a buck. I think Kyle Lewis is moving up to day 2. It's just what it is. So check it. It's what it is. My faller out of the linebackers, I have him as one of my top 10 linebackers, and he didn't do much of the testing. He did go out there and run a couple of drills. Texas A&M linebacker Taurean York. I don't know. I don't know what I was looking for. I thought I was going to see a better performance from him, and I just didn't get it. I know he has coverage limitations. I know he has athletic ceiling concerns. He struggles in space a little bit, but I thought he would go out there and test well. I think because some things I just felt like can be taught. Some things I felt like can be retweaked. I think his form and technique, I think those things can be tweaked under great coaching. But that's what I get. That's what I get. You know what I'm saying? He tends on film to struggle in space a little bit, and you saw from the drills he's probably going to struggle in space. So my pre-combine top 10 linebackers probably be shifting, and there's some sleeper guys that I'm probably going to be adding into the mix. All right, I got a question for you: coverage or tackling? What matters more now? Is it the coverage, or is it the tackling, or is it the tackling? Let me know in the comments. You did. Let me know. All right, here's the real takeaway. The defensive lineman class is deeper than I expected. I didn't expect all these high flyers from the defensive line. So I like what I saw from the defensive line. I hope you liked it too. The edge athleticism is definitely trending upward. It's trending upward. It is what it is. These guys are hella athletic coming into the league. And that's what the league needs. The league has gotten faster, quicker, stronger. It is what it is. Not going to lie. Linebacker value, though, likely the mid-rounds. Because I don't think every team is going to take a linebacker. And there weren't many that performed here at the Combine. It wasn't a big list. But they did meet with Bruce Boettcher. So we'll see what happens with that. My sleeper, if I had to pick a sleeper from this, Kaleb's, Elarms, or TCU. I'll leave it at that. We won't go into deep with that. All right. Now, here's my hot take. At least one of tonight's risers becomes a future starter in this franchise. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If this is your first time watching, click that bell, man. Hit subscribe. Make sure your notifications are set to on. Comment your biggest riser. Comment if you had a faller. I'm down for the ups and downs. And make sure you do me a favor. Join that Breezy Bunch crew. I'm Wayne Breezie, and we stay faithful to the Bay. I'm out, y'all. Peace. What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.